Waiting to be noticed. Waiting to be noticed. As I try to leave, I see a malnourished and profoundly sad little boy outside my hotel door. First, he quietly stares at me as I try to pass by him. Then, as I clasp my camera, he readily responds to my gesture and what I want, posing and shifting his position as I direct him. And then I was gone. I saw him repeatedly throughout the next few days. He was persistent in his pursuit of me. Afterwards, I realized he was waiting to be noticed. Unfortunately, I didn't give him recognition, something I have regretted from that moment until now. He responded to me, but I didn't personally respond to him. I was too intent on the photograph, not seeing the despair in his eyes. He needed to be accepted and seen as a little boy. The only survivor. In January of 2010, a catastrophic earthquake killed 300,000 Haitian people. Rescue workers burrowed deep into the rubble of her apartment building, searching for survivors. She was the only one they found alive that day. Everyone else in her immediate family was gone. I wanted to be incredibly careful and not cause any stress with my presence or camera, so I moved respectfully, using my eyes and heart to express my intentions. She spoke in bits and pieces. Eye contact was not possible for her yet. Finally, as we walked into the sunlight, she softened. A slight smile crossed her face. We touched hands and I felt a physical connection while she struggled to describe her tragedy. Not finding her family alive, the story of that day was brutal for her to tell. She labored over the memories of the crumbling building and the rescue team lifting the heavy concrete blocks away from her injured body. Her foot was caught and it had to be amputated. But with great effort, she chose to spend time with us, letting me into her life if only for a fleeting moment. Now she is safely living with her grandmother. Proud possession. As my husband and I walked a remote road, I scanned the horizon and glimpsed a young girl running through the fields as fast as her little legs would fly. It was unlikely that country miles away from any village you would see a foreigner like myself, a woman with a large camera, and her husband walking solitarily. So we must have been a rare sight. Upon reaching us, she raised her arms upward, eagerly wanting to show off her beloved pig, perhaps her only possession. We were delighted to meet our little companion and see her love for the tiny squealing piglet. Sharing joy. She is spoofing me. Her hands quickly shield her face, hiding as if to say, "Peekaboo." Then she breaks out laughing with her infectious smile. I wonder about her inner world as she joyfully plays with me, gripping my heart with her charming smile. Her eyes sparkle with fun and I laugh with her. Then, pleased that we could share a giggle, we walked together. She was determined to be part of my work, photographing the other children. She carried my heavy equipment as I moved among the other orphans. She was enthralled to be a part of what I was doing. The player. Several boys were hanging out in the middle of a dusty dirt road. A small group gathered around me, pushing and shoving. I showed them my camera and they were very curious. Through gestures, I motioned, asking each one if I could take a picture. One eager youth quickly leaped into the dirt gully and pulled a hidden deck of cards from his pocket. Fanning the cards, his riveting eyes gazed straight into mine. I call this image the player, because he knows what he wants and takes action. He knows the game we play. A child of grace. In 2008, children in the Congo were dying daily from easily preventable diseases and malnutrition. This beautiful land rolling in fertile green hills is in a civil war framed by barriers, divided by barbed wire and heavy steel fences. Yet, in contrast to the harshness I witnessed everywhere, a stunning child stands quietly next to a cinder block wall, and I am immediately drawn to her sense of grace. She is alone, dressed in a soiled pink chiffon dress, carrying a burlap bag. Numerous children are surrounding her, all holding bags. I didn't notice the bags at the time. What were the children trying to tell me? As we pull away from the congregation, cold chills run through me as the security trucks drive us deeper and deeper into the territory. For the first time, I was scared. Everywhere you could feel the devastation before witnessing the poverty. The Boy in Blue. The 1994 Rwandan genocide left him an orphan. As I gazed into his bottomless brown eyes, I tried to imagine his pain. I saw visions of mystery and doubt in his reserved expression. His inquiring look made me wonder what he was thinking. Could he ever trust anyone again? I asked myself, is his inner world too shattered for me to be here? But as if a miracle were present, I suddenly felt a spark of acceptance from the precious little boy in blue. He allowed me to take his picture, and a sense of trust passed between us for a brief second. 40 years later, I am still grateful for his acknowledgement and presence in my life. Her voice cut through the air. She sang the words of loved ones gone, painful musical memories of the Rwandan genocide. As the orphan children's choir performed, the boys pounded drums, keeping time with her soft lyrical voice. We swayed back and forth while listening to her broken-hearted words. Teardrops rolled down her cheeks. Humming with her, I moved to the heartfelt African music. I sensed a presence with the orphaned children, and I too was weeping. We all were. Our eyes locked. A little girl stared at me as I passed, and our eyes locked. Not wanting to lose sight of this captivating child, I raised my heavy camera level with her face. It strained my arms as I tried to focus. Quickly, I had to scramble to keep up with her fast-walking mother, avoiding the shoppers pushing through the congested street. I was tripping and stumbling through the crowd of people. Everyone was talking and shouting, trying to make themselves heard. Then, urgently, the child reached her hand towards mine. I pressed the shutter, permanently recording her gesture. She is forever in my memory. My heart smiles every time I see her precious face. Thirsty Beggar. I had passed the vendor's stall, but as I looked back, I saw him pouring water for a thirsty beggar. Across human conditions in all cultures, water symbolizes the sacred value of life, protection, and healing. So I ask myself, what does the vendor appear to fear as his eyes search the narrow walkway? Is he afraid of being caught giving the substance of life to another human being? Reflective image. As the sun rose, a young female walked down a steep embankment to the river, the only available water on this rural island surrounded by the Brahmaputra River. I wonder if the broken reflective image is a premonition of this young woman's future. Captivating buttons. The mismatched button jacket caught my eye, but as I pressed the shutter, her little feet turned, rotating her whole body, taking on a riveting twist. So captivating. After a second look, I sensed a vulnerability as I probed to capture her inner essence with my lens. Shadows on the steps. The travelers hurriedly passed the children, intent only on their desire to see the next temple, and I was among them. I had lost sight of my party, but I hesitated as I witnessed and heard the sounds of the 3 kids clapping their hands. They are before me as I struggle up the steps to reach my friends. Their hands move, making more noise than the ringing temple bells, crying and begging. They are distracting me. I know they are too young to have come to this place on the temple steps alone. Someone placed them here. But the tourists don't stop. No one stops. I see their misery and think of my own 2 little girls. I pause and wonder what I should do. But I, like the others, do nothing. Do the heavy, dark shadows of strangers streaming past the kids tell a story of a world with other priorities?